Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Pleasant Run Farms Road Rehabilitation Project Equalization hearing. Today's Tuesday, May 13th, 2025 at approximately 5:15 p.m. We have a roll call.
Yes, Mr. Honolaw?
Present.
Mr. Barney?
Present.
Two trustees are present.
I apologize, but the title of the hearing, while it's in here as a misprint, is actually the Wildbrook Acres Rehabilitation Project Equalization hearing, so I do apologize for that. So with that, I do have a report here. As the board is aware, since we've done many of these over the last 7 or 8 years, this is a statutorily required process of our assessment procedures for road repair here in the township. This particular road rehabilitation project included the streets of Nohunta Court, Sherman Terrace, Sherwood Drive, West McKelvey, Wildbrook Lane, Turwood Lane, Kelso Court, Lakeview Drive, Northfield Lane, Ridgebrook Court, Northbrook Court, Garnoa Drive, Sunwood Court, Crestbrook Drive, Southfield Court, Fernbrook Court, Bellsage Court, a lot of courts, Newgate Lane, Sarbrook Drive, and Woodmill Lane. This hearing is required by Ohio Revised Code 5573.10. Notice was given in compliance with the Sunshine Law and the requirements of the same code. On May 5th and May 12th in 2025 in the Cincinnati Enquirer, those notices were published. This resurfacing project is part of the 2021 Springfield Township resurfacing program, replaced all concrete curb, replaced all catch basins, repaired storm sewers and catch basins, and removed existing asphalt and pavement resurfacing with 2.5 inches of new blacktop. Why it's just now coming before you is because we had some storm sewer work that took a few additional summers to get completed. So we did complete this project last year. This is the 27th type of project the township is moving forward with in accordance with the infrastructure improvement plan that was adopted as part of the neighborhood master plan in May of 2016. As the board is aware, there are 2 types of assessment. This is considered the mandatory assessment and not the voluntary. There are a total of 494 parcels on the 20 streets representing the property owners to be assessed for this project. This may be one of the largest projects we've ever done at one time. The assessment to each property owner for the project will be $56.44 per year for 10 years, apportioned and paid equally by the property owners abutting the road improvement as established by Ohio Revised Code 5573.07, Section A, subsection 1. On April 13th of 2021, the Board of Trustees passed Resolution 42/2021 determining the necessity for road improvement. The plans and specifications and schedule of assessments were prepared, and then they were reviewed and approved with the county engineer as required by the Ohio Revised Code. Notice was then given on May 5th and May 12th of 2025 as explained earlier, and it was at that time we accepted any written or in-person objections. There were none. Purpose of this hearing is to consider objections to the schedule assessments. The board can change the assessment schedule if necessary. The equalization hearing is not whether or not to do the project, because as indicated, it's already completed. The project was awarded to Alita Construction by the Board of Trustees at a regular meeting on Tuesday, April 13th of 2021. And the next step was the resolution adopting the estimates and specifications reported by the county engineer for the said improvements, which the county engineer has signed and submitted to the township. So, as indicated, this hearing is to allow anyone that has any objections to the assessments as explained. And if not, that would conclude the hearing.
And we'll have a resolution later.
Correct.
During our regular meeting.
Correct.
So, do we adjourn?
Well, seeing no
There's nobody here for that purpose.
And if there are no objections or anyone wanted to speak regarding the assessments for that particular project, then yes, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.
All right. We will recess and come back at 3:30.
Welcome to the Springfield Township Board of Trustees meeting on May 13th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. Mr. Burney, can we have a roll call?
Yes, Mr. Honolaw?
Present.
Mr. Burney?
Present.
And Ms. Braun could not make it.
Can we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I think we're going to get up now and go out in front.
Okay.
No.
Hello?
I texted you, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Come on up. The Springfield Township Neat Streets Program is an initiative started by the Township Innovation Team with the goal of bringing township staff and residents together to beautify our neighborhoods. Events are held on Saturday morning. The township brings staff, equipment, and supplies, and the community brings a volunteer power. While we've had successful events in the past, so far none have been matched by the energy and enthusiasm that Miss Marshall Ruffdean brought in March to the event in West College Hill. Ms. Ruffdean initiated the cleanup event with the township and was a catalyst for community involvement, ensuring the event was a huge success. We're grateful for Ms. Ruffdean's commitment to keeping West College Hill and Springfield Township a clean place for our residents to call home.
On behalf of all the board trustees, Marshall, we would like to present you with this plaque of recognition. Thank you very much.
Next is the approval of the minutes for the regular session on April 8th, 2025, the special meeting on April 9th, 2025, the special meeting bid opening on April 16th, 2025, our regular work session on April 22nd, 2025, and our special meeting for a bid opening on May 8th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mr. Burning, can we have a financial report, please?
Yes, sir. For the month ending April 30th, 2025, the township expenditures were $2,745,608.13. And, I'm sorry, that's right. And the receipts were $11,557,645.65. That gave us an ending balance of $30,330,224.13. Those include the obligations to expenditures, payroll, regular operating costs, ongoing capital improvements, and investments. What I request from the board is a motion to approve the receipts, warrants, payroll expenditures, updated and current revenue reports for the period ending April 30th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Aye.
I just want everyone to know the financial reports are available here at the township offices during regular business hours or on our website 24/7. Thank you, Mr. Burning.
All right, next, Mr. Gilbert, do you have a department action and discussion items report, please?
I do. Thank you, Mr. Burning. I have several action items tonight. The first is an agreement with Michael Schuster and Associates, otherwise known as MSA Design. That is for some bid specification documents that they're going to do on behalf of the township for some exterior facade improvements to this building, as well as the portion which is Station 79, the fire headquarters. This building is now almost 21, 22 years old, and the exterior is seeing some weather-related damage. And in order to make sure that that damage isn't further exacerbated, we need to do some improvements to the facade, some wood trim repair and some painting. And MSA will be providing those bid specs for us in order for us to attract and secure a bidder for that work. So I would just entertain a motion to authorize the administrator to enter into a design agreement with MSA for the purposes as described.
So moved.
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next is an agreement with the Dinsmore Law Firm to allow them to prepare some tax increment financing district documents that allow us to create several TIF districts that would correspond with several developments that we have proposed here in the township. One would be a condominium development project on Winton Road on the former Whitaker Elementary site. Another would be at the former Diebel property on the corner of McKelvey and Lake Ridge, which is a DREES planned development, as well as the property which was the former Grossman property, horse farm, in Meadows of Right Farm, phased section of that development, which will be a Ryan Homes developed property. So with those, there are some plans to utilize the TIF revenue to make public improvements. It is not an incentive for the developers in any way, shape, or form. It is to allow the township to capture additional tax revenues associated with those developments and use those for purely public infrastructure purposes that would improve the quality of life and the infrastructure of the already existing public infrastructure in those areas. So with that, I would ask or entertain a motion to authorize the administrator to enter an agreement with Dinsmore to create those TIF documents.
And I'll approve that motion. It's always important that we keep our tax dollars here if we can.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And we did put out the bid and received bids back for our road resurfacing program this year that will include Madeline Circle, Balboa Drive, and Ganada Drive. The engineer's estimate was $290,000, and we received 4 bids. Barrett came in at $241,989, Jurgensen at $274,857, J.K. Mura at $282,922, and then the winning bidder was Naira Paving at $238,602.20. So with that, I would ask the board for a motion to award said repaving project to Naira Paving for $238,602.20.
So moved.
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And
Motion carries.
I will add that is pending final legal review by Ms. Abrams. I was getting the side eye.
As always.
Always, yeah.
No. Under discussion items, we have the 911 Hamilton County Plan. Rick, I don't know if you want to discuss your involvement in that or your participation at the Chiefs Association level as it relates to that plan.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. There was some new legislation that was passed in 2024 that requires Hamilton County to have a committee to review a 911 plan for the county. This isn't a new plan. It's been in place for decades. But the legislation that was passed last year just requires that the county now has to have a committee made up of trustees and leaders across the county to meet once a year to review that plan, approve that plan. And then the second part of that legislation that passed was that once that plan is approved by the county commissioners, then it's sent to all jurisdictions in Hamilton County for their approval at our legislative level too. So that's really the only two changes. It's not anything new to the plan. We've been part of that plan. I think the original plan was constructed back in the late 80s, so 1980s. So it's been around, nothing really new to that. So
Okay.
that's what we're asking the board tonight, just to see the plan, review the plan, and approve that plan publicly.
Okay. So we have a resolution, latter part of the agenda that would do that. But now's the time if the board has any questions
If you have
or
any
concerns
questions.
regarding that plan.
I do not.
I
Okay.
do not either.
All right. As Mr. Bly indicated, it is a pretty standard, nothing's really changed substantively as it relates to how the 911 is going to operate or how we're going to interact with the comm center at all.
Yeah, there's only really two big components to the 911 in Hamilton County, and that's the Hamilton County Communication Center and then the City of Cincinnati's Communication Center. So we just want to make sure that we have a plan in place if there's anything catastrophic that happens that we communicate.
While this isn't relative to this plan per se, but I think just for the edification of the public, what is each 911 call cost the township currently?
So it used to, I mean, it was kind of nice, it used to be about $18 a call. And currently, within the last 2 years, the county commissioners have reduced that to $5 a call. So that has been a significant savings, not just for Springfield Township, but that has been millions of dollars across the county when you look at all jurisdictions combined.
I don't think people realize that when you call 911, Springfield Township gets charged $5 every time someone calls 911 in Springfield Township. So we budget literally hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to pay the comm center for those services. And that's how the comm center is funded, is that all these jurisdictions in the county pay into that. But as Mr. Bly indicated, it used to be $18 per call. So you can imagine the cost savings that we've realized as a result of the county commissioners reducing the fee to $5. Now, every year, we're always gambling whether or not it's going to go back up. And so far, they've been able to keep it at $5 for several years. But we always plan for that in our projections and in our budgetary sort of analysis, that we always make sure we have enough revenue set aside that if it does go back up.
You never know when they're going to say, hey,
Right.
we can't afford to continue to do that.
Yeah, and we're not going to be in a position where we're going to say, hey, residents, you can't call 911 because we can't pay for it. So,
I got a question.
yes.
Let's say there's an auto accident. They get 5 calls for the auto accident. Do we pay $5 each call, or is it just one for the accident?
Well, we get $5 for the police and we get $5 charged for the fire department.
Okay, so even though 5 people
Not
called,
if you get multiple callers, it's just
That was the
one
question.
dispatch, yeah.
It's per dispatch?
Yes.
Okay,
So, appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
Rick.
you.
thank you.
Moving on, personnel update. We did have a resignation in the fire department of Jacob Miller as a part-time EMT firefighter. And then we had the promotion of Ty Brenner as a full-time laborer within the Public Works Department. Ty was a longtime part-time laborer for us, and he expressed his desire to stay on and gain additional hours and work full-time. And ordinarily, we would have not had a position open because we don't have a lot of turnover in Public Works. But luckily for him, we did have an opening that we were actually seeking a full-time employee for, and he was able to snag that. And we're happy for him, and we're able to retain someone who has a lot of institutional knowledge and someone we've trained since the beginning. So that was a good keep, Scott. With that, unless there are any questions, the personnel update, I'll turn it over to Kim for community events programs.
Thank you. We're getting ready to enter into our very, very busy event season, and that starts this weekend with the Artisan Fair. We have 60 different vendors that will be out, and you can shop everything from leather purses to original artwork to local honey to handmade hats and all kinds of stuff. Live music all day long, and food trucks as well as demonstrations. So that event goes this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We have our senior adult picnic on May 20th. And then on May 23rd, there is a new book that's out. It's the history of Finneytown. They're going to be doing a book signing at the Arts Center that's free and open to the public from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Again, that's May 23rd.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So I guess this weekend, back on the field, what is the wagers on whether it's going to rain or not?
It's not going to rain. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be 80 degrees.
What people don't realize is internally, we always have a saying that every time she plans an event, it's going to rain. So if a farmer was in need of rain, just have Kim come out to your farm, plan an event, it's guaranteed to rain.
Well, and then in December, it snows.
True.
We stopped doing December.
Thanks, Kim, appreciate it. Mr. Bly, I know that you have Chief Niehouse's report.
Yeah,
Be so kind as to let us know what's going on, please.
Yeah, so the chief apologized that he's not here. His As the board may know, and the community probably does not, the chief was elected and was nominated and elected to be on the Hamilton County Chiefs Executive Board Association. And with the unfortunate and tragic death of Deputy Larry Henderson last week, or 2 weeks ago almost now, that board has been quite busy with assistance and supporting the Sheriff's Department, as we all know what that requires, unfortunately, for just short 2 years ago. So he's been busy with that, and they had some follow-up meetings and some training that he had to attend tonight. So he apologizes for not being here. But there are some good things going on that he wanted me to relay to everybody. The first thing is the police department's been really trying hard to do a lot more community engagement when they see some opportunities. And one of the neat ones that they found, that there was a barbershop owner up in Green Hills, Antonio Spicer, that kind of created this Building Bridges initiative, cops and barbers, and it's for the youths of the area community to come together to be able to have really good conversations with law enforcement. So Springfield Township's participating with Green Hills, Forest Park, Springdale, and the city of Cincinnati, and every month they kind of meet at these different barbershops or police departments, and they have these conversations with the youth just to kind of have casual conversation to build those relationships. So they're really proud and anxious to get involved in that. The next one they're having is actually May 18th at Forest Park Police Department from 2 to 4 p.m. So they're happy about that. They're also this week at Panera Bread on Friday, I think it's the 16th. They're having a coffee with cops. So if anybody's available and wants to stop up and talk to the chief and some of the staff that's working that day, they'll be up there at 7:30. I think it's 7:30 to 9:30. So they'll be at Panera Bread. The other thing that I kind of wanted to mention, the two police officers that received letters of commendations from a prosecuting attorney in Franklin County. There was a high-profile case, an attempted murder on his wife and a Franklin County deputy in Indiana, Franklin County in Indiana. And they just convicted him this past week. And Lieutenant Eric Catron and Sergeant Sheeler in past years had a critical incident that involved the defendant, and they used that information for this trial for the conviction of the defendant. So he wrote a really nice letter of commendation for those officers that had to testify. Just to let you know, some of the things he said he's been a prosecutor for over 18 years, and he's never seen an experienced trial attorney so thoroughly outstaged by clearly better prepared officers in a jury trial of this magnitude. And then he concluded just by saying that, Sergeant Sheeler and Lieutenant Catron are definitely our assets of Springfield Township, but to the law enforcement community in general. So we're very proud of those, and I think it just is a great representation of the job that they do and the training that you guys allow us to provide them to do. So
Sure.
we're very proud of them in that.
That's great. I can attest that in the detective division, and frankly, all of our officers, they're extremely thorough and well-prepared in presentation of cases. And, obviously, it's the board's ability to provide them all the resources necessary to do that. And, obviously, we know their assets, and now we have people in Franklin County
it's
that
really
know that
nice
as well.
to see, people in the region that, recognizing that and then showing their appreciation.
Rick, please pass on our thanks and appreciation
Absolutely.
for everything they do.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Rick. Chief Miller, what's going on in the fire department?
Hi, good evening. Just a couple public education dates we wanted to make sure the residents know. We have our Kids Fire Academy Wednesday, July 9th through Saturday, July 12th. That's for kids ages 8 to 12. So we still have a few more openings, so you can find out more information on the website or social media, and as far as how to register and things like that. We also have our annual open house, our 2025 open house, which will be Saturday, October 11th this year from noon to 3. Obviously, that's always a big community event, and it's free and open to the public. So we encourage you to put that on your calendar and hope you can make it. At that time, that's all I have.
Thanks, Chief. Appreciate it. Scott, I know you're incredibly busy in public works. Obviously, this time of year, grass is growing. Beautification projects are going on every day. The work that you guys continually do down there amazes me with the resources and staff that you have. The amount of stuff you get done on a daily basis is mind-boggling.
Thank you.
But I do know that we did some improvements in Lexington Heights Park, new basketball court, is that correct?
Yes, that's probably 80% complete. We got to finish some topsoil work. Well, with the weather, we're so far behind with what needs to be done. We can't get topsoil. All the topsoil is at the riverbanks that were flooded weeks and weeks ago. So getting topsoil, just to be able to have it at our shop to use is a challenge right now. But once it dries up, we'll finish up the topsoil stuff there. But I know the kids have been using it. It was down for probably 7 days, but it's completely resurfaced, relined, new hoops. Looks like $1 million, I think.
Yeah.
I think it really turned out nice.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I know I actually stopped and spoke to the kids the day after it was put up, and there's probably 25, 30 of them using it the day after it was completed. And I just asked them, is there anything else we can do to make the court even better for them? And of course, as kids do, they had a litany of ideas. So I was trying to keep mental note of all of them and see if we can incorporate them. But the neighborhood is enjoying it, and I know that you guys are incredibly busy. And, you know, you see the Public Works Department out there every day picking up litter, planting flowers, cutting grass, doing those things. What you don't see them also doing is the invisible things and the things that we as residents take for granted. You know, when the street lights come on, when the storm sewer works, when all these things that we take for granted that you don't even know exist, but when it isn't working, we absolutely know. And so they're out there, you know, fixing things that are invisible to us every day as well. And as you mentioned, the things that we run into with topsoil, and we use topsoil for everything, whether it's every time we dig a hole for something, we're trying to backfill with topsoil. And if we don't have it, that just holds up those projects. So there's no shortage of projects every day. So, but I can't speak to the amount of work that Scott and his team of, 14, 15 people do down there on a daily basis in a community of 17 square miles, 40,000 people and 15,000 households and 400 streets. They do an incredible job. So thanks for everything, Scott. With that, that concludes departmental activity reports, unless there's any questions of the board.
No questions.
Thank you, Mr. Gilbert.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is our resolutions. First is resolution number 31, 2025, approving the final 911 Hamilton County Plan pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Chapter 128. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded?
Mr. Honolo?
Aye.
Mr. Burning?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next is resolution number 32-2025, declaring motor vehicles located on public or private property in Springfield Township, Hamilton County, Ohio, to be junk motor vehicles pursuant to Revised Code 505.173, and ordering the removal of such vehicles pursuant to Resolution number 80-2012 and Revised Code 505.871. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Honolo?
Aye.
Mr. Burning?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next is resolution number 33, 2025, authorizing disposal or salvage of unneeded, obsolete, or unfit for use property in the Public Works Department. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Honolo?
Aye.
Mr. Burning?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Resolution number 34, 2025, adopting the estimates and specifications reported by the county engineer for improvement to Nohunta Court, Sherman Terrace, Sherwood Drive, West McKelvey, Wildbrook Lane, Turway Lane, Kelso Court, Lakeview Drive, Northfield Lane, Ridgebrook Court, Northbrook Court, Garnoa Drive, Sunwood Court, Crestbrook Drive, Southfield Court, Fernbrook Court, Bellsage Court, Newgate Lane, Sarbrook Drive, and Woodmill Lane, and approving and confirming the assessments for such improvements and ordering that the improvement proceed. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Honolo?
Aye.
Mr. Burning?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Resolution number 35, 2025, supplemental appropriations in the general fund, gasoline tax fund, road and bridge fund, police district fund, fire district fund, and the public improvement tax increment equivalent fund, and appropriations adjustment within the permissive motor vehicle license tax fund. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Honolo?
Aye.
Mr. Burning?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Resolution number 36, 2025, authorizing private sale of unneeded and unfit for use property in the police department. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Honolo?
Aye.
Mr. Bernie?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Resolution number 37, 2025, declaring nuisances pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 505.87 at various listed properties within Springfield Township and authorizing statutory actions necessary to abate the nuisances. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Honolo?
Aye.
Mr. Bernie?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Resolution number 38, 2025, establishing assessment for abatement of nuisance and certifying same to the Hamilton County Auditor. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Honolo?
Aye.
Mr. Bernie?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Do you have any old or new business, Joe?
I do not, but you had some long titles to read there tonight.
That was a lot of streets, Chris. Now I know how you feel.
Yeah, I know.
I do not this evening.
Okay. So next on the agenda is citizens' participation. If anybody would like to address the board, please step to the podium, give us your name and address, and if everybody else could be quiet while they speak, we'd appreciate it. Would anybody like to address the board? I knew you wanted to address the board.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Sandra Presley. I'm the Senior Branch Manager of the North Central Branch Library, and the address is 1109 Hamilton Avenue. I only have 2 updates today, so I'll keep them pretty brief. If you haven't heard about the library funding update that's happening, that is still something that we want to keep top of mind, and thank all of the residents who have reached out to legislators and senators on behalf of the library and letting them know how much the library has done for them personally. If you want to know more information, feel free to come by my branch and we can talk about it. But to keep it brief, our concerns or things that we want the public to know is that while the legislators did go ahead and increase funding, it's still pretty significantly below what Governor DeWine proposed initially. And we're also looking at the fact that we're still a line item, which doesn't allow us to have stable funding. So those are the 2 things that we're kind of focusing on right now. And we are not asking the community to reach out or anything like that now, but there may be something in the future because we're waiting until we see what's happening in the Senate. And we won't know until probably the end of June. So this is mostly me just thanking everyone for reaching out and having conversations, and also visiting the library for the first time in a while. That's been great to see that people are coming back because, as you know, with COVID, it slowed a lot of things down, and the library just wasn't in everybody's daily routine. But now we're seeing a steady flow back. But with COVID, it increased our digital format, so everything's starting to come up, which is great. My second and final thing that I'd like to talk about is our summer reading program. Our program is themed along with America's River Roots Festival that's coming to the Cincinnati area in October of this year. But our program is going to be themed around reading on the river, and it's going to start May 31st until July 31st. So the things that you all can look forward to are, with the kickoff of summer, you come into your local library, that could be mine or those around the county and city, and you'll get your reading challenge sheet, which is kind of like a bingo board, and you'll also get a book of your choice to keep, and we'll have those in English, and we have some in Spanish for those who are reading in a different language. And then you can get a Cincinnati Reds voucher for free tickets to a game, and that's just for signing up. There's no reading required for that. The next thing that we want everyone to know is once you complete the 25-day challenge, you can have an opportunity to win some extra prizes. And those are like a little pop-it ball, wooden puzzle, vinyl sticker sheet, and sunglasses. And we are having lots and lots of events, and I won't share them all now. I will send, I'll send you some in email, and I can also get you some printed versions as well. But I thank you all for your time tonight and hope I get to see you at some events. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to address the board? Okay, if that's the case, then do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Seconded?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you all for coming.